Good morning, almost afternoon. How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday morning. Uh, it is gorgeous outside. It was nicer outside than it was in my house. I woke up freezing cold in my own house and I went outside just now and it's gorgeous. I think I might even go take a walk. Praise Him. I haven't done that in a minute. But anyway, I want to talk to you. I like to do that a lot, by the way, when I do have a voice. Um, I want to talk to you guys about something, and I want to talk to the issue of racism. Yeah, I'm going there once again. Okay. Um, a lot of times when Yah has called you to do something, okay, and He gives you a word and it's controversial, a lot of times there are going to be people that are not going to understand your assignment. They're not going to understand what Yah has called you to do. Nonetheless, you need to go ahead and say what God tells you to say. Do what God tells you to do. Your assignment has nothing to do with what somebody else has to say about it, if it gets their stamp of approval or not. There's this saying that I kind of hate, and I don't like to use it a lot. Stay in your lane. But I kind of get it. I understand where it comes from. And if you're ever driving down the highway and you see the lanes of traffic, most have at least two, some may have three. And it's important and it's important that you stay in the lines, in the lane that you're traveling. Because if you get out of the lane, if you go outside of the lines with your vehicle, you may collide with another vehicle in another lane and cause an accident that can cause loss of property or life or both. So I get it. I get what they're saying, stay in your lane. And a lot of times, especially when God anoints someone to speak on the issues of racism, a lot of people have a problem with it. And unfortunately, it's a lot the people that have a problem with it happen to be Caucasian. Okay. And I don't know what quite to say to that except, excuse me, a lot of Caucasian people love us and they don't have a problem with us. And there are a lot of Caucasian saved people that love God and love Yah and they love us and they're not racist. I just want to put that out there. Okay. Because I think that somebody may look at my Facebook posts and read my posts and read my timeline and think that I'm just totally against white people, and that is not it at all, Chief. Okay, but my assignment changed drastically 2 years ago when they pointed guns at me and handcuffed me and put me in the back of an unmarked vehicle, and the only reason why they did it was because I was a black person in the wrong place, the wrong time. Okay. Um, And I realize I'm not the only one. I know there are a lot of us people of color that deal with this type of thing. And it's not just the police thing, it's across the board. It's systemic. I could see it now the older I get. I was kind of naive when I was younger. I will say that. I will admit to that. I was blind to the ways of racism when I was younger. Because I wanted to believe, I was the type of woman, I wanted to believe the best about everybody, okay? Um, I had those blinders on, and you know, I grew up having crushes on white guys. Not saying I didn't have crushes on black guys. Don't go there. It's just that I grew up being that weird black chick in New Orleans, of all places. But really, it took y'all allowing me to go through some things and see some things, even today at 50 years old. And I'm saying, wow. And it's been like this for a second. And I'm just really beginning to understand just how deeply entrenched, deep rooted the system of racism really is. And I know that one of my assignments while I'm here on earth is to bring light to it, to shed light to it, to expose the word says to expose the works of darkness. That is a work of darkness, racism. You can't escape it. You know, say people say, I'm not gonna get pulled into the racism thing. We're all already pulled into it, babies. Whether you wanna be or not, we're all pulled into it. And it doesn't make you any more spiritual because you act like it doesn't exist. It makes you in denial. And sooner or later, Yah is going to burst those bubbles, and you're gonna deal with it front and center. You're gonna be right smack in the middle of it, and you won't be able to deny it anymore. You will have to do something about it. You have to speak up. You know, I get it. I get it. You know, Moses, he had privilege. Moses was born a minority. Okay, stay with me. But Yah opened up doors and avenues for him to be raised differently, even though he was a minority, and exposed Moses to a whole different life and culture outside of his Hebraic one. But they didn't change who Moses was. It just meant that Moses had a different. He was allowed to live a different lifestyle, at least in his childhood and teenage years. But while Moses was being exposed to a different culture and a different lifestyle and being raised a different way, all for the purpose of Yah, by the way, his people were being oppressed. His people were being murdered. His people were being enslaved. Okay? But all the while, Yah allowed Moses to live a cushy life, sheltered. He didn't know what it was to be a Hebrew. He didn't even know he was a Hebrew for years. He didn't even know his own identity. I'm not going to get into that though. Until much later in life. And then when he got into the trenches, yet see, I want you to check out something. Yah had to expose Moses to the persecutions, to the racism, to the atrocities of oppression that his people were going through. He had to show Moses what was going on to help prepare him for what his destiny and his assignment would be. And because the atrocities of the oppression and the racism was so entrenched and so evil and so diabolical and so wicked, so evil, Moses didn't even know how to handle it. He couldn't even handle it. He acted out. He reacted in his flesh and he killed a man trying to defend his people. And the sad part is, even though I could understand why Moses reacted the way he did, because he got tired of seeing his people messed over and he wanted to do something about it. Moses delayed the deliverance of his own people all those years because what happened after Moses killed that dude? Moses became a fugitive. He was banished from the palace. He could not go back to his place of favor and his cushy lifestyle no more because now he was a criminal. Now he was a fugitive. But had he noticed and witnessed his people being oppressed and treated horribly, and instead of reacting in his flesh and just trying to and retaliate and kill a dude, kill a soldier, in the army that they're all supposed to be serving in together? Had he used his place of influence to go back to his mama, to go back to his granddaddy, and say, this can't be, this is wrong, these are my people. Had he did what Esther did, entreat the king, Pharaoh still may not have let the people go, but he would have put something on Pharaoh's mind. Eventually, it was going to happen anyway. And it happened the way it was supposed to happen. But I want you to just think about this. What would have happened if Moses had just went through the ranks, went through the political ranks, and then treated the leader, and treated Pharaoh, and treated his mama? It appealed to their sense of decency. That whole confrontation, the whole Red Sea thing would have happened a whole lot sooner. People would have been delivered a whole lot sooner. But Yah had to go and take Moses away from the whole thing so to save his life. Had to burn the bush to get his attention. Huh? Then Moses had went and got married and got a whole family. Got all sidetracked, boo. And then still had to turn around and go do what Yah said to do. You know how many years that took? How many years people were still being oppressed? People were still being enslaved, murdered, raped, whatever, while in Egyptian bondage. Had Moses did it right the first time, the people would have been delivered a whole lot sooner. I want to talk to my brothers and some of my militant sisters. And I need you to hear me. Come on, come here. I need you to listen. Hear what Yah is wanting to instruct you to do. And if you ain't never listened to nothing else I said, hear me. My grandfather's name was Moses. My uncle's name is Moses. Yah wants to raise up more Moseses to deliver us. But you're doing it the wrong way. You're being militant about it. You talking about you want to go do this and do that and rioting and violence and you're delaying the deliverance of your own people. You are delaying our people's deliverance because you are reacting. You are reacting to what they're doing. And what they're doing, don't get me wrong, it's disgusting. It's horrible. It is a stench in the nostrils of God, in the nostrils of Yah. And I promise you, Yah don't even accept their praise because it's faulty. It's polluted. How could you say you love me, but you oppress my people? So even though they go to church and they guard the people church parking lot and all this and all that, I promise you, Yah ain't accepting their praise. They have churches and Yah ain't even recognizing them. Ichabod is written across the door. Don't worry about it though. Don't worry about it. Because Yah gonna get them. But he want you to stop reacting to what they doing. Because the enemy gonna keep using them. But you be sensitive, not to the voice of the ancestors, but be sensitive to the voice of Yah. Voice of God. What is he wanting you to do? How is he wanting you to do? What is the strategy that God wants you to implement to deliver your people? It is imperative that you listen to what God is saying in this hour. Not what man is saying, not what your ancestors are saying, because your ancestors ain't saying nothing. I know you hear some voices from out there, but I promise you they're demons. Don't listen to them. I need you to listen to God. Listen to Yah. You ain't never asked Yah to speak to you. You ask him to speak to you now. Because there is a strategy. There is a strategy that he has. Don't delay the deliverance of your people another 40 years. because you want to do things your way and react out of anger. There is a plan. I need you to seek Yah and ask Him for your next step, your next orders. We're depending on you to hear what Yah is saying and then do what He said to do. Y'all have a great day.